First up, an explanation of why I'm doing this the way I'm doing this. When I review anime, obviously I can't just review it like a movie where I'm only talking about a 2-hour experience. I'm talking about something that goes over the course of many weeks, months, even years. So because of this, when it comes to a TV review, I generally try to keep it to where my thoughts are the way they are for that specific time span. So because of this, that's why for things like this and Shinibia, it's best to split the reviews up by seasons because my thoughts vary so wildly from season to season. Whether that's a good thing or not, keep watching. You'll find out sooner or later. And cue title scene. Cardfight Vanguard is a 2011 starting anime that takes a concept you have never seen before. A world run by card games! Okay, that idea has now been done several times. But the thing is that now, unlike most of these series where we just came across them on TV, you can only watch the series on YouTube and other anime watching sites. That's right, it's not on TV or even in stores, which gets really obnoxious when you're trying to build a freaking deck here! But essentially what this series is about, well, I think it's actually better not to say what it's about first, but rather what it was trying to do. When I first clicked on the link to this show, I was expecting just another Yu-Gi-Oh ripoff like Duel Masters was. Another fantasy adventure where card games are the key to everything, and every 5 seconds it's flashing product in your face. Shockingly, okay, it still flashes product in your face every 5 minutes. It's the complete opposite. This series does what Yu-Gi-Oh at that point had tried and failed about 3 times to do. And that's take the concept of a world run by card games and make it feel realistic. Cardfight Vanguard started out by basically taking this whole thing, putting it through a blender, and making it come out as something so believable. At first it could have been reality. And that is because of a genius opening exposition that just flat out says that card games are just popular because they're fun. And Vanguard just happens to be the most popular, so that's why this is what our story is focusing on. Once you put something in that realm of realism and brings it to that human level, the door is open for you to make a plot that stays very serious and keeps itself very straightforward. But all that can only work if it's kept together by our characters, which it is perfectly. First up, our lead protagonist, Aichi Sendo. This kid, I actually thought he was a girl at first, but the thing is that this kid is just this very wimpy introvert, doesn't really do much, doesn't really know where he's going in life, just sort of is like the rest of us. This is a very relatable, likable young character. Basically, it's like I said, he was bullied a lot as a child, and he's a very geeky, very wimpy, and Vanguard is just what he does to make friends. It's like, for me and for many other people I know, we were kind of shunned away from society, so we got into this stuff and it brought us friends and brought us people and brought us things in our lives we wouldn't have without it. And they just treat it like that. It's never taken too far. I mean, there is a big major plot that goes on later, but even that's done very real and to the point. And basically, even the way they go about introducing all the characters is very smart. Basically, Aichi, when he was little and when the bullying was at its worst, a kid in his neighborhood named Kai gave him a super cool Vanguard card called Blaster Blade, which was actually a pretty good card for the first half of the game's release. And the thing is that Aichi then was told that, you know, when you're scared, when you're being beaten up, imagine yourself as Blaster Blade and let its power make you feel stronger. Kind of like the way real kids do with superheroes. And so that's what he did. And because of this, when we get to where the series begins, he has put together a deck of Royal Paladins, and he is attempting to basically just make his way through life. That is until Kai comes back into his life. And this time, Kai is the farthest thing from a realistic person. He's dark, he's serious, he's obsessed with Vanguard to the point where that's the only thing he cares about in life. But that's what makes him interesting. He's so driven and obsessed with it all. It just makes him fascinating to watch. And as you see Aichi try and figure out what's happened to him, you yourself are fascinated by what's going on with this guy. And basically Aichi then, of course, it's kind of what you expect. Aichi challenges him to a Vanguard fight. And the rest of the series is kind of Aichi being sort of like a rival to him, wanting to be up to his level and fight at his level and go through this and that and all your adventures and all your crazy cast of characters. And from there, that's kind of just what the series is. It's not about the end of the world. It's not about saving it. There is, like I said, there is a plot that comes in later on that's got like a fantasy or sci-fi element, depending on how you look at it. But even that is played very realistically. Like, you could see it happening. You have a villain named Ren who's total hamming it up, but done in a way that feels realistic. You have a female character, Misaki, and she is the best character in this show. I won't spoil anything about her, just know that she fascinates the hell out of me. I love every second this character's on screen, and that's just the way the series treats itself. All three of our lead characters feel very realistic, and everything they go through feels very like it could happen in real life. Now, there are some problems. First and foremost, the first season is like 60-something episodes. That could be jarring for some people, as it means that the character arcs do have to be stretched out a considerable amount of time, where a shorter series would get it done faster. And, you do, towards the end of it, kind of get a little bit annoyed with Aichi. You might, again, I've watched a lot of shonen like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bleach, Naruto in my time, so this didn't bother me that much, but it could be a problem with you, so be warned. The other big thing, and I think this might actually be the same problem, but the next two problems are there are too many characters. Look, I understand a series like this need a lot of characters, but there's just so many of them. There's this comedy relief character named Kamui, who's technically a main character, but he feels like a studio note. Like, they were just told, this show, we want to market it to kids and teens, so make Kamui as juvenile and annoying as possible. He's degrading, and he just feels like he doesn't need to be there. You have Aichi's pointless little sister. You have a comedy relief character who's Jar Jar Binks level annoying. You have three other characters who never really get to where they need to be interesting. And the problem is that they try to use this all as comedy relief, but it's not funny. There's not a lot of great jokes in this, which you inherently don't need, but the show keeps forcing so much humor that I don't care about and don't really like. And it just gets on your nerves after all, and it is degrading. However, this series is still super intelligent, takes itself super realistic, but still has fun. I love the three leads. I love the way the plot executes itself. I love almost everything about Cardfight Vanguard Season 1. That's why it's a 9 out of 10 on the, I'm going to go with drama scale, just because that's the way it treats itself. But what did you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on Cardfight Vanguard, whatever your deck is. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, so next time we can see where it all went wrong.